Well, since we just did the camera roll, what I'm going to do is that I'm now just going to do an establishing shot zoom. This is very common with a lot of, like, say, situation comedies, or even there's some things. This is kind of similar to the opening of parts of The Simpsons, but um, and also the same sort of thing that Shamo Bay did at the beginning of Moonlight. So what I've done is I've set up a new project, set up a composition, and it also actually, I don't think, needs to be more than 10 seconds. Well, I'll work on that on the other. Oh, wait a second. Sorry. That was that was one of the previous tutorials being rendered. So I'm going to do a new composition, HGTV, 20 seconds. I'm going to take it down to 10 and 24 frames a second. So we have the basics set up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have just a quick title, 2 seconds, then we'll bring in our background, and then we'll just zoom into it. Very easy. I'm just going to go push, zoom, establishing shot, Patrick Goody. I'll do it capitals this time. I'll be just a little different. And I'll just say animation lessons. So that's it. And I'll just grab the direct select tool, move it into the center, make it 2 seconds. Let's get a little fancy. Let's take opacity, go out to 2 seconds. Let's just fade it in and out. I know, I like to make things difficult, don't I? So, and why don't I have it going to 0? And why don't I have it just be like a cross dissolve like you do in Premiere? Just because of the fact that you just kind of do these things a little more directly. And I'm going to make sure I'm on the keyframe. Go to that and see, notice it's turned blue, that it's on. And I turned that off. And all I need to do is just click forward 3 times to the next keyframe. And then turn that off too. So guess what? We got fancy schmancy. All right. So what we're going to do is that, I have this large background that I've been working with for a while. Let's bring that back in, okay? And we'll put it back into the background. And it's way too big, but let us just take it to the point and just snap it into place. So we really don't need to worry much about the text. That's done. That's all done. We don't need to worry about this. But we do need to think about what we're going to do with this. So what this background. So the idea is that we are going to zoom in on a window. So the moment, what we should do is that we should just get out to the point where the background is filling the screen plus a little more. And honestly, you know what, this, I didn't like the bottom of the sidewalk, but when I zoom in on it a little bit, it'll be okay. So this is going to get a little bit blurry because it's going to be an extreme zoom, and we're going to use the easy ease on coming in. So it'll ease in, it'll ease in, zoom in fast, and ease back in when it goes back in. So here is the window I'm going to focus on. And then and that will happen for maybe, let's take 2 seconds. Let's take that 2 seconds. Let's just establish a shot for a second, you know? And then let's zoom into it. Now let's do it for 2 seconds. I'm going to make it variable. I'm going to let it be editable in the graph editor. And then I'll just come out here for 2 seconds. And then let's have the fun. Oh yeah, and I have to do scale too. So, let me go back to this and let's just turn on scale and let's put that there. Let's go out for 2 seconds. Now, I'm not answering my phone. I'm going to set 2 keyframes, and I will zoom in really far and know that I have to move this over, and I can either use the select tool, bring it right into the center here, and guess what? That's really kind of nice because of the fact that my point of origin, my beginning point, is right where my ending needs to be. So I'm just going to just bring this in, and I know it's going to blur a little bit, but still, that's why I used a really big background. And by the way, you see all these dots here? These are individual frames, so it's moving pretty fast. We may have to move these keyframes out for about 3 seconds, but let's see what happens. So this is without any easing. And by the way, is it that simple? Yeah, it really is. So let's take a look at this. Actually, I'd like it to be a little bit more. So let's go to the keyframe and let's make it bigger. And then take this tool and just kind of go here. You know, it's really not looking so great, but this is the reason why you also work with really big backgrounds. So, all right, here we go. Here's a push zoom. By the way, that fade in, and then, okay, that's actually kind of interesting. So, but you notice how it's very robotic. Not great. So we want this to start out slow, come back in easy. So this is why we turned on the graph editor. Let's go into the graph editor. See, it's all linear motion. It all kind of isn't great. So All we do, as I said with the previous one, we just go in here, hit easy ease, boom, not a problem. Easy ease is your friend. Let's just take a look at that. You know what? That's pretty cool. But it's nice, but I think it's just a little too fast. So all we do is we just select the keyframes. And don't worry, it'll adjust in the graph editor too. And let's just take it out to 6 seconds. And let's see how it works. That's beautiful. And that's what I want to see in my Blackboard Dropbox. Let's just do one more thing. And you're going to say, Professor, what are you going to do more? Are you going to make us work more? Yeah, I'm going to make you work more. I'm going to work you till you drop. No, I'm just joking. We're just going to have it fade out. See, since practice makes perfect, and you know what? Once you start working with After Effects and you work with it for a while, after a while you think it's so difficult, just practice a bit and it just becomes really, really easy. And as you see, this was at 100% opacity in the beginning. Now we'll just take it down here to this keyframe, take it down to nothing. And watch what happens. And that's it. Actually, I think what I would like to do is I'd actually like to take this out to 7 seconds. And I think this will be really nice and relax. So let's look at this. Push zoom, establishing shot. Gorgeous. A+. Fade out. Boom. Great. Anyway, that's the end of this tutorial. I hope you do as well as I did. And I'll see you in the next one.